Good evening, you guys. How are you? I am super excited for tonight's call because we are going to do some different kind of things. And we just came off of the Grand Rapids boot camp. So you guys, if you have not yet been to a boot camp and there's one within your region, you need to go. Boot camp is a chance for you to connect with corporate, to get to know the CEO, to see the vision for the company, and to hear from people who, you know, made it to ambassador in 1 year or maybe made it to ambassador in 5 years. Just tips and tricks and verbiage. I just love going to those events. And you know what, not only for the event itself, like as much as I get tons of energy from it and just being surrounded by people who are positive and just feel poured into, I honestly love the small stuff that we do outside of the big meeting that really just builds the relationship, like connects us all together. That's one of my favorite parts. And so when you go to a big boot camp or a green carpet, just know that we always do stuff surrounding it where you can really get to know people. Because what I love to say is, you know, we're in business for ourselves, but we're not by ourselves. And to be honest, if we're not just hanging out and not getting to know each other, you know, like the goal is we're friends and we get to know. Anyway, you know what I mean. So we had a little after party at the Eve, and which is a Grand Rapids place, and we got to do dinner and just talk and mingle and do pictures, and it was just so much fun. I did hear some insider scoops that I cannot tell you about, but I can tell you want to be a part of it. So a couple of things is there's a product coming out in June, which is 6 weeks away, and it's something that all moms will want, like all moms will want for their kids. It's going to be awesome. So it's going to be something that everybody really is going to want to purchase, and then, I mean, it's a whole nother niche. So I'm excited for that. I know about a product coming down the pipeline, most likely conference, that I think is super trendy right now and is going to kind of take our product line up a notch. I'm really excited, something we don't have right now. And then I also know that they're coming out with some things for the first 30-day incentive for new distributors. And I don't know when they're coming out with that. I don't know when they're going to announce it, but I do know that it is stinking awesome. Like, I cannot wait. I'm like drooling for them to announce it because I'm really excited about how it's going to impact our teams and just create that urgency for getting 4 customers in your first 30 days. So, by the way, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Denise Walsh, and I've been with It Works for 10 years. And yeah, I wouldn't be anywhere else. I love it. So we're going to do a few things today about growing your network and really reaching more people. And when you first get started in the business, we say, all right, write your 100s list, write your 30s list, just create a list of people that you know. And then we'll invite them to virtual parties. We'll get them on a Zoom and do a virtual party with just your people. We can do a live party if you're local. You want to get the wrap on them. They can become your first customers or distributors. But we all know that in order to really build a diamond, double diamond, triple diamond team, you're going to have to meet new people. I mean, that's just the name of the game. Whether you own a dog walking company or a wrap company, like your job is to network and to ask for referrals and to get the word out. So Barbara Bozer is going to spend some time with us sharing how to increase your market, increase your influence, and draw people into conversation. So Barbara Bozer is an ambassador diamond on our team and is super savvy with branding and marketing and just kind of drawing people into that conversation. So Barbara, take it away.
I gotta unmute. All right, thank you. Hey everyone. Okay, so I think really today I just wanted to talk with you about kind of looking at your audience, like who are you talking to? And I think a lot of times I get frustration from people because they're like, oh, I posted somebody and nobody liked it, or nobody engaged, or nobody asked questions. And there's always like troubleshooting to be done when that happens. Like, you want to look at your Facebook. Is it really spammy, or is it like blah, disaster? Like, do people want to just run when they see it? Are you like sharing a bunch of stuff? Because branding yourself on Facebook is so important if you're going to be using it to build your business. And that goes for any social media platform, and pretty much what I'll talk about today can be applied to Facebook or Instagram. But, when you meet somebody new online, you have like less than I don't even know what seconds to impress them. Like that first impression has to be just spot on. So, whenever you're getting like not a lot of people friending you back, not a lot of engagement, it most likely you want to go back and look at like, okay, what image am I portraying? Like what message am I sending? What are people going to remember about me? Can people tell, that I'm a good person? Am I credible? Stuff like that. Not spammy. Like you don't want to have like every single thing, green and black and selling and stuff like that. Because what you'll do is you will just push people away. People will be like, oh, no, I don't want to buy anything. Because most people don't want to buy anything. People don't go to Facebook to buy stuff. They go to Facebook to like not think, and to be entertained or to be inspired or to not feel alone. So if you want to keep people on your page and keep people engaged with you, you want to entertain them, you want to inspire them, and you want to make them feel valued and important. So if your page isn't, portraying like any emotion or fun or value, start there and do that. And if you don't know how to do that, follow people that do that for you, and then
I just can't get it in the hole.
Copy what they're doing, but get ideas from it and post stuff, at least 2 or 3 times a day. Like it can't be like a ghost town in there either. So once you feel like your page, is like your profile is nice, your background photo is like family or fun, or you're vacationing or something like that. You got some really good like featured photos that give you, people a quick idea like of what you do, what you like. If you have a Facebook business page, you can link, like in your bio, cute emojis like mompreneur or, whatever is kind of a cute, quick description of you, and then find me at, and then you can put the link to your business page. You can do that if you have a business page. And honestly, that's not super important in my opinion, because people don't go to Facebook to buy stuff. Like if they're interested, they're going to message you or comment or ask anyways. But some people really want, to have something there. So once that's all set up and good, kind of start thinking about like, especially if you're new, who is your audience? Like you have 300 friends, let's just say, who are they? Are they mostly, school friends? Are they like girls that are, at age where they're having kids or in college? Like, who is that demographic, and what is it that they are going to want? Like, what is it that's going to, inspire them? Maybe most of your friends don't need to lose weight. Maybe most of your friends are fit. They're young. They haven't had kids yet. They're not really interested in buying a Target trio, or they're not really interested in, a wrap or whatever. Like, so you want to start with like, who is your group? Like what are they into? And when you're first starting your business, most of your group has stuff in common with you too, So think about who those people are. And when you're writing up your posts, speak to them, like speak to the majority of, who is in your tribe that you're talking to there. And then I think that will help increase, some of the engagement in your posts. Relate it to yourself, get some emotion in it, let them visualize how, this certain product that you have can help them. So if most of your friends are pregnant, they probably can't wrap, because they're pregnant. So maybe don't post so much about 12 wrap challenges and stuff like that, because they can't really do it. Focus more on what your main audience will be using. Now to grow that, because you have to grow it, like you can't just grow a network marketing business online with 300 friends. Like you have to add people every single day, and that consistency is super, super important. So what you want to do is think about, things that you have some type of experience in or want to learn about, something like a hobby or something that you can be a contributor in a group. And go onto groups on Facebook and search for that. So, and then kind of think about too, like certain demographics or certain products, certain things that we might have. So some that come to mind is like you can search for groups for like all about being pregnant, for example. And most of those big groups allow people in there that are pregnant or not pregnant. Like if you're a mom, you can pretty much be in there. And then you want to like contribute in that group, not by selling your product. Like that's like a big no-no, because most groups are like no advertisements. You know what I mean? They don't want you in there spamming their friends. So what you do is you go into those groups, you start seeing the feel of the group. What are people posting? You know, like it's kind of like you know, going to a cocktail party. Like really, you're just in there like checking it out. And ask questions, you know, ask questions that people can help answer, ask for, you know, it's like if you're in a pregnancy group, you know, try to think of some type of a fun engagement post where talking about longest labor or, you know, stuff like that so that people can be telling you a little bit about it. And then once you start getting those comments in there, like the comments, reply to that person, maybe ask them one more question, and then send them a friend request. If the thing to send them a friend request is not lit up, add them on Messenger, and you can do that, which is pretty cool. And add those people to your Facebook list, and maybe name it like, you know, Prego Moms, or I don't know, whatever, like come up with some type of a list name so that you know like who you're meeting from those lists. And, you know, do that in those groups. When people post questions, answer the questions. If you're in a group like that and someone posts like that they're upset or they're sad or something happened, send them a message like, hey, so-and-so, I'm so sorry to, you know, see your post, whatever. And what you really want to do is create your name, you know, like a familiarity to it so that when they see it, they're like, oh, Barbara Bozer just liked my post. Barbara Bozer just commented. Oh, now she added me as a friend. Who the hell is Barbara Bozer? You know, and she's going to click on my profile, and she's either going to run like the wind or be like, oh, she looks nice. I think I'll add her back. So, you know, if you're adding like 10, 15 people a day through that method, you will get 2 or 3 people a day that add you back, you know, and then doing that like on a daily basis, that's going to build your network up pretty quickly. When those people add you back, it's super important that you send them a message that just says like, hey Denise, thanks so much for the ad, nice to meet you. Now if there's something on Denise's page that I notice, we have something in common, I will be like, hey, I saw you live in Grand Rapids, oh my gosh, I've been there, you know, and kind of start a little conversation about that. And that's it. You're not going to try to get them on your team right now, okay? And then that engagement on Facebook is telling Facebook that you guys are like interested in what one another are doing. So you're going to see more of their stuff. They're going to see more of your stuff. Now, if you're focusing in on a certain niche and a certain demographic, say you're targeting like pregnant moms, or maybe you're targeting vegans. Maybe you're targeting, you know, bodybuilders. Maybe you're targeting people that want to lose weight. You know, whatever that group is, be really focused on that group. And then when you're posting your stuff, talk to them. You know, because now, like, if you do this, if you're adding 2 or 3 people every single day, you know, in 2 months, you're going to have a nice chunk of like new people that are seeing what your posts are. So post to them, like talk to them. Talk about, you know, the stretch marks. Talked about protecting, you know, your pregnant tummy, and you know, talk about stuff like that. And just kind of get in a good habit of really knowing like who your audience is. So, for example, like there's so many different groups that we, you know, we've talked about joining groups a lot. So maybe you're like in, I don't know why I'm thinking of knitting. I think you use this example once, Denise. Maybe you're in a knitting group, okay, but you don't really know like who's in a knitting group. Like there could be people like from all over. Like my son knits, okay. He would never buy anything like from It Works ever, but he's in a knitting. You know, he's not in a knitting group on Facebook, but he knits. But you never know who, because that group is like it's really like big. It could be grandmas, it could be, you know, all sorts of people. So it's cool in the sense of growing your network and adding people, but it's not really focused targeting as far as like adding an audience. So, you know, if you're like into food groups, for example, you know, people like to eat. People are posting, you know, pictures of food all the time. They're eating recipes and stuff like that. And then when you're doing your posts, talk to them. Talk about the fat fighters, you know, talk about different recipes for the shake and stuff like that. So kind of think about, you know, who your audience is and what they like, and then speak to them when you're posting. And then a few other places that you can find people. So if you're looking for, you know, specific, like especially on Instagram too, like follow the leader of, you know, that niche. So like if there's, trying to think, I don't know, like somebody big in working out. I can't even think of anybody right now, but somebody like who are the people on The Biggest Loser? Help me out. Somebody put it in the chat. Some big like workout person.
Oh, what's her name?
Jillian. Okay. Go to her stuff. Like go to her page, go to her groups, go to anybody that did like a copycat group pretending to be her that isn't really her or whatever. And those target their audience. Like those are people that are, you know, health minded, they want to lose weight, they are into that, you know, so go there. Same thing, engage with them. If there's comment threads, like, comment, and then add people that way, ask questions. Now there's some other groups that are, they're only for like spamming, basically. Like they're like weight loss groups, and every single other post in there is about, you know, buying some product and losing 20 pounds in 2 days, or, you know, they're just crazy, like all these crazy before and afters, and you could just scroll through forever about them. But it's okay to post your stuff in there, but try to do something different. Like that's a great place to go, you know, maybe a couple of days before we're hosting a party, and you can post in there like, who wants to win some free weight loss products, you know, and then people will usually respond to free, and then they will comment, even if you just get like 2 or 3 or 5 people. Sometimes I've seen posts like that that have like 75 comments in them, and you just send this like, I'll PM you, you answer the question in a private message, not in the thread. Otherwise, everybody will know what you're doing. So you like it, reply, I'll PM you, send them a private message. Hey, so-and-so, thanks for commenting on the, you know, the free products. Like, what's your story? Like, how, you know, ask them, like, how much weight do you want to lose? Like, what, you know, what's going on? Tell me what's going on. And people they want to know that you're not just trying to like schlep them some pills. You know, they want to know that you're like genuinely interested. And then you just kind of have a quick conversation about that and say like, I think you're going to absolutely love what you might win tomorrow night. We're hosting this event. Can I invite you? You can watch everything from your phone. You know what I mean? And then depending on how the conversation goes, maybe you can, you know, send them some before and afters or something like that. But when somebody comments like, you know, to win something for free, you don't want to like derail the whole conversation and try to start selling them something right away. But definitely get them to that party, get them, you know, in your lead, you know, flow follow-up system, and then follow up with them the night of that party. And then I think the last suggestion I have for finding new people is on your Facebook. Once you join a few groups, and you know, you don't have to join tons of groups, you guys. Like if you're in like 4 or 5 really good ones, just work those. You know, if you're in some groups that have like 2,000, 3,000 people, like you don't need any more than that for a really long time. You know, whenever there's a new member, welcome them to the group. Send them a message. Hey, I saw that you just joined, you know, our pregnancy whatever group. When are you due? Ask them questions like that, and that will add more people to your network. You can start asking them, like, do you work from home? What are you going to do? Are you going to take time off? You just don't know where it'll take you. And then the last thing I want to show you is on your phone, in the little shortcuts menu, do you see where it says Discover People? So if you go there and you click on Discover People, this is going to let you pick from events that you went to, people in your local city, and people in groups that you're in. And so if you go to a group, it's basically, say you joined, like I'm in a buy, swap, sell group in Las Vegas, okay? So it's going to show you like people's profiles, and then it's going to show you the things that you have in common. So this is somebody's profile that popped up, things in common. So I can immediately look and be like, oh, we have 11 mutual friends. None of them are Works people. I'm going to add her as a friend. And that's a bit of a quicker add. So like if you're, like there's no thoughtfulness too much that went into this, you know, just kind of like, I'm picking people based on similarities of groups, and then, you know, who our mutual friends are. And people will be more likely to add you if they see that you have mutual friends. And then when I send them a message, I'll say, oh, Facebook suggested we were friends. I see we're both in this blah, blah, blah group, you know, and kind of talk to them about that. And then people just get into that same, you add them to your list, continue engagement with them. Like if you're noticing that you're posting stuff and you're getting like nothing, you need to start adding new people. Like you probably haven't been adding people in a while. And I know that that's definitely a pattern that I've gone through. And then the last thing I'll say is when you are adding people on Messenger, even if they're not like added as a friend, when you post like your Messenger day, they'll see that. You know, so post Messenger days, like post before and afters in there, post stuff, you know, it's a little itty bitty picture, but post stuff that people are going to want to like, because they can kind of sneak on there and look really quick, and then you'll see who looked at that. You know what I mean? So you can see like if the same people are constantly looking, and then send them a message, like say, hey, I saw you took a peek at my Messenger day. Isn't that crazy? Or like, have you ever seen that? And then get that conversation started with those people. That was all I had today.
All right. I know you guys were taking notes. There's a couple questions. What was that function, that last function that you were talking about?
It's called Discover People. And if you're on your Facebook menu, it's like where you have all your shortcuts and stuff, you know, all of your groups and everything. If you scroll under, it's like under events, saved, feeds, jobs, Discover People. Yeah, right there. And see how under it says on this day? That's one more quick tip I'll share for those of you that have been with It Works for a while. If you click on that and go back to like what you posted last year, sometimes if you just can't think of what to post, just post the same thing. Like if it was good, you can be like, ooh, I liked that post from last year and I got a lot of comments. Let me just copy it and then reuse it, because nobody's going to remember that you posted it last year. So, okay, that's all for now.
I've never used the on this day function, but I think that's so fun because number one, your posts, and then of course, number two, the memories. We do so much fun stuff. I'm sure we did something fun on that day. And you can bring back some of those memories. Huh, cool.
Yes, it's
Very
neat.
cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. So when ask some questions in the comments here, but when she says speak to those people, you know, talk to those people, really when you're writing a post, pretend like you're talking to one person. I think part of it, you know, if you're like, that can help you formulate the words. Like if you think, all right, I'm talking to my best friend, or I'm saying this to a mom I know is looking for something, you know, think of who your target audience is in your mind when you're formulating your post, and then write it like you're talking to one person. And then the other thing I'd like to mention about that, and we were, a couple of us, Laura and Robin, you guys were brought this up today, is that even the words you choose during your post are pretty important. For example, if you're like, if you join my team, you may make money. Or I just want to tell you a little bit about my little business, you know, or whatever. You want to use life affirming words. So example of when you join my team, you have the opportunity to make $500 to $10,000 a month, you know, whatever. like strong words that are definitive, that are life focused, that are not wishy-washy, that are not like, maybe kind of sort of you'd be cool with this. You know, like you want to be definitive and strong and bold in your posting, because people don't read, they skim. And often they skim and get the feel. You know, like they'll read a couple words and be like, eh. Or they'll read and be like, ooh, you know. So I think that they'll get the feeling of your post just by some of the words that you choose. Yes, Maddie says, take just out of your vocabulary.
Yes, that's a great tip.
For sure.
Yeah.
So another one is take try out. Do not try. We do, or we do not, right? We do not try. So it's not like I'm trying to get a bonus. It's like I'm getting a bonus. You know, I'm going for a goal. Those definitive words will draw people into you, because people follow people who know where they're going. And if you're wishy-washy and if you're hot and cold or whatever, then they might not think you're fully serious, or that you would really be able to show them how to experience success.
Yeah.
If, use when, take just out, try and do. Any other like words you can think of, Barbara?
Well, I'm not sure. Let me think about that. But you can add curiosity. That's really good. So like, for example, for a long time, we've been talking about like, you know, post a picture of you with your fat fighters or, you know, whatever, but try posting a picture of you like just with the little pills, like not even, so people are like, what is that? You know, like if you're holding the bottle of fat fighters, they might be like, oh, that's just another thing, you know, that she's selling or whatever. But if you have just like the little, or the relief, like the little yellow pill, like, oh my gosh, I'm so grateful for these 2 little yellow pills for helping me being able to walk without pain or whatever. If you're, you know, I did a post about my greens, and I just posted a picture of the powder, like I didn't have anything, and I actually was having people message me like, what is that? What else is a good example of that?
I did a really good one the other day. Could you mind if I share?
Yes,
Alice,
go ahead.
I took a photo of my 4-year-old with his little empty cup of greens, because he now drinks it straight. And all I said was he's cute. So that, you know, people always comment on photos of him. And I just said, I'm so looking forward to another winter sickness free. And it was all in this little cup. And because we're coming into winter. So I had a lot of people message me about that, what was in the cup. So yeah, that's a good one as well.
Yes, that is a really
It wasn't even any product in that post. It was just an empty blue cup with a child. That was it.
Yeah. Stuff like that is really good, because it gets people curious. Like if you're posting about stretch mark cream, just put some stretch mark cream in your hand, you know, and just kind of like be like, oh my God, I can't believe what this is doing, or something like that, you know, so that people are like, what is it? And then it gets them curious. So, because I think that we've kind of reached a time where we have to change the game up a little bit, because times are changing and internet marketing is always changing, and that curiosity factor, I don't know that we've done really good at that, because we're pretty bold at posting, you know, our products and before and afters and stuff like that. I like when people post it in the comments too. And then people have to scroll through, you know, and they have to look at it there. So yeah, I think somehow adding emotion to whatever you're writing, and then some type of curiosity factor, so that people are like left wanting to know more, you know, and thinking about it.
Allison, you are always allowed to share, because I love your accent. If you guys did not catch, she is from Australia.
I love your accent.
I love it. Yeah, she's from Australia. And so this is what I love to tell people when they're like, this is how you make money while you sleep. Have an Australian team. So for you Aussies, to make money while you sleep, you know, have your US or European team. It's really fun. So it's morning the next day for them, you guys. Isn't that so cool?
Yeah.
It's 11:30, so I'm just having lunch, and I have to eat while I'm on the call, so that people can see that I'm on my lunch break. Otherwise, I'll just be in trouble for being on the call.
Oh,
It works out well. Perfect timing.
Good. Well, good. Another thing I wanted to add is even just adding value. You know, when you think about your Facebook page, you want people to be coming back to it. You want people to be like, oh, where in the world is Denise now? You know, what's going on in this adventure? And so part of adding value is maybe even take one ingredient of the greens and say, this is why spirulina is so strong, or this is why you need a probiotic, or this is why, just not even describing what our products are, but just saying why you need to alkaline your body. Even stuff like that, because number one, people don't know. And why would they take the greens if they don't know why they need them? You know what I mean? So some of that is just adding value, and you'll just continue to up your credibility. So you want to do some research with that kind of thing. You don't want to make stuff up, but you'd want to do some research. Why is Relief so good at the glucosamine and chondroitin in it? Why is that good for arthritis? Why is the Confianza? Some of those ingredients you can do a little research on and then explain that. I've been following some other companies' leaders and saving some good posts that I can then use within our team, because they're health and wellness products. We can do the same thing.
Mm-hmm. It's a good idea.
Let me think. Any other questions? And we did have a Q&A question on the Game Changer page, and we had one question. So you guys must know exactly what you're doing. So I'll answer that one question next. But any other questions about building your network, messaging people on Facebook, all of, that kind of thing. Targeting your audience.
A question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Another question. For Barbara, when you're adding people, and do you send them a message straight afterwards and just say, hey, Facebook suggested us, and I noticed we're in the same group or whatever, and then you just strike up a conversation, or do you not always message them when you add them?
I send them a message after they've added me as a friend. So when they add me back, then I send them a message. I don't send everybody a message with a friend request. I don't know why, really. I suppose you could.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Retention is in the relationships, and so when you are building the rapport with people, to be honest, I feel like the relationship during the follow-up time is really important, because that's going to determine how good they do when they sign up. Because if you feel like you're friends already and you have a good rapport and they feel like they can ask you questions, they're going to be better when they sign up versus people that are just like, oh, whatever, and they don't even really know you yet. It does make a big difference. So that rapport process is important.
One other thing that I did is before I go on an adding spree, I put a post up that isn't It Works related, just something that's related to my children or something funny, because I like to post goofy, funny things to get people interacting with me. So then I go on an adding spree, and then I have sometimes I have a lot of people message me and say, "Oh, hey, do I know you?" Or "Hey, why did you add me? Have we met?" And I never knew what to say because I don't know the person. And so now I just started saying, "Nope, don't know you. Facebook you just popped up, and I hope you don't mind me adding you." And then saying that, because I never knew what to say, so I thought, why not just be honest? And that's worked quite well as well. So a lot of people want to know who you are if you add them and they don't know you. Yeah,
that's a great answer. Another tip too, when you're in a group and there's, for example, I'm in a group for empty nesters, and every now and then someone will come on with pretty much a really sad situation of their family or whatever, and they'll get hundreds and hundreds of comments. So I will usually just send that person a straight up message and just speak to them about what happened. Hey, I know you've had tons of comments. I didn't want this to get lost with what everybody else was saying, and kind of just talk to them about, whatever they posted. And that is, again, it's I don't know whether or not that person, will sign up. I feel you can't always go into it with that mindset of oh, who am I going to get next? And who am I going to get on my team? It's just you got to just have a kindness for people. And then that's how people are going to start, adding you back. I had a lady refer a friend to me, last night that I've been talking to for 2 years. And, so you just never know what's going to come from it, or who needs to hear from you at that moment.
One question is, Do you have any rules that you follow for posting? Like, because things are changing. You know, we're looking at engagement posts now. We're looking at really drawing people in and not, you know, and being a bit more curious. Do you still do the 3-3 rule?
I've never done the 3-3 rule, to be honest with you. I just post like it. You know, you just do your best to remember to do it. Honestly, when I post stuff that is a dud, I'll go back and delete it. I'll just take it off and sometimes repost it at a different time. Like I'm posting stuff that I posted last year. You know, it's just, you just want to have something on there, you know, every, I don't know, 3 hours, I guess, or so. You don't want to post too much, but things, you want to post things to entertain people, things that will inspire people. You want to use emotion in what you're posting. You want to connect with people on some level, like what Denise said about talking to one specific person, and you're going to reach a bunch of people. Do a live. Like, you guys, if you're not doing lives, you're missing out. Like, I am personally holding myself accountable to do more lives, because that's not my comfort zone. Like, honestly, I just don't like it, but I'm going to do it. I'm doing more lives. So, you know, that's something that I'm kind of forcing myself to do. But what happens when you do the lives is more people see your stuff, you know, then all of a sudden, like, you get friends of friends that are seeing it. And then when you're doing the lives, you ask people questions in there, and then they comment, and then, you know, you're now opening yourself up to other people. And then as far as the product posts, you know, I mean, at least post something like every single day. And then if you can do like the same product 2 or 3 days in a row, that way people are, you know, oh yeah, she talked about that yesterday and I forgot. Oh yeah, I'm interested in that, but I kept forgetting. And then just think about like the weekly schedule for the team, you know, so we always have our parties on like Thursdays or Wednesdays or whatever. So Mondays, Tuesdays, you're working to get people to come to those parties. And then the end of the week, now you want to talk to the people about the business opportunity, because, you know, they've hopefully attended a party or an event. So yeah, so kind of think about, you know, the schedule of the team, like what products you're using, what you're passionate about, and then again, like, who's your audience, you know, who are you talking to, so that you get the most engagement out of it.
Maddie said that she friended someone and the person asked, "Do I know you?" And she said, "Not directly. We seem to have quite a few friends in common, and I love to meet new people. Thanks for responding. Have an awesome sauce day." And I think if anybody says have an awesome sauce day, you will be.
Yes, for sure.
Do you have any specific live topics you like to do?
I'm trying to do more of like informative stuff. And then so this is kind of new to me, so I know that I'll get better at it, okay? But what I'm trying to do is like, I get questions from people all the time, or text messages, sometimes just like ranting about something crazy, you know? And then, so what I'm trying to do now is like answer those questions basically in a live. And then that way I can use that thing like where I'm talking to that one person. So that's kind of what I'm trying to do. And like I said, I think I'll get better at it. I would like to do like a content calendar, so that I kind of know for the month like what I'm going to be talking about, and then that takes the guesswork out of it. But I have not become that organized yet, but that would be a really good idea. If I have
Are you saying that you'll do a live, that you may talk to somebody, like for example, I just friended a lady the other day, and she's a personal trainer. So the other day I put up probably a bit too long of a post about personal trainers, and it was all aimed at the end, I said, thank you to all the personal trainers who have taken a stab at something different and something that goes against all of your teachings, and have found that it's a natural product that has helped you. And so this morning I spoke to a personal trainer who has lost 50 kilos and wants to tighten up her loose skin. And she's someone that I just became friends with. And then I saw that she was a personal trainer, and then I put that post up, and now today she's called me. So is that what you mean? Do a live about, so I could do a live and say, I just spoke to a personal trainer and this is her story, but without mentioning her name.
Yeah. So like
that way?
Yeah, so today I posted a post. I was talking to this girl about joining, and she's like, well, I don't want to post anything on Facebook. And so I was like talking to her, you know, because I was the same way. Like when I first started, I didn't want to post anything on Facebook either. And then I was talking to this other girl the other day, and she was about to sign up, and then she's like, oh, my friend said that she did this business and she didn't do good, so I'm not going to do it. So then I did another live talking to I didn't say like you specifically. I just said like, okay, so I was talking to this girl and this is what happened. And I basically just kind of said like my opinion on it and trying to give people like a bit of a vision for themselves of like, why are you going to let somebody else's, you know, decision dictate what you're doing? You know, like, so that's kind of, it was a little bit of a rant, but in a nice kind of a way. So, you know, I think you just always have to try new things. You know, the business is changing, it's more competitive, and we need to find ways to stand out. So you have to try new things. I mean, you got to get out of your comfort zone, and I hate doing lives right now, but I don't know, in 6 months I might be pretty good at it, so we'll see.
It's going to be your favorite thing.
They're going to be like, oh my God, there she goes again, live again.
Every time I'm consistent with lives, my followers go up. So I know that it works.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm trying, well, I need to do my goal is to have 25,000 followers by the end of the month. So I need to be consistent.
Where are you at now?
21.
Okay. Do you want to do lives while you're drinking wine, Denise?
That'll do it. Maybe at Tyler's wedding this weekend, huh? I'll do a live on the island.
Yes.
Share it with all your friends.
Yeah.
But the lives really do make a difference because when people comment on your post, it shows up in their friends' news feeds, which is why the engagement posts are really helpful. For example, I never see Joel Dunn's posts ever. I'm friends with him, but I never see it. Guess what I saw today? Which license plate should I get? You know, and because there's almost 400 comments. So it shows up on more people. It's like YouTube. They always say like the YouTube channel because then it shows up and populates more. That's similar thing with comments and stuff on Facebook.
Yeah.
One question is, should we still send a message to a new Facebook friend even if we added them last week? Is that weird or not?
Why not? Just do it. Just say like, oh, I've been so busy. Sorry. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for accepting my friend request. How are you? Know, whatever.
Yeah.
They might not remember when they did it anyway.
What?
So they might not remember when they friended you anyway, or when they accepted, or.
Yes, exactly. I've been trying to get people on the phone more too. When they're kind of asking questions and stuff like that, I've been saying like, "Oh, I'm about to get in my car. Can I call you?" And they're like, "Okay." Here's my number. Like, okay. So that's kind of a tip too, is to get people on the phone. I don't know. I just thought of that. Tracy's asking about paid advertising on Facebook. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, Denise, you could probably speak to this way better than me, but if you have it, I think even if you're just doing like $20 a week or $20 a month or anything, to grow your fan base on your page. And then when people like your page, contact them. And then it's a bit of a different message because they liked your page, you know, so then you can be like, oh, thanks for liking my page. You know, how can I help you? I don't know. What do you think?
We do a lot with Facebook ads and things. It takes, again, it's all about building the rapport. So what that does is just get you in front of more people that you then get to really work. Like you've got to work them, you know, but we, with your fan page, we created a bunch of custom template scripts, because you can basically understand, like ask a question where you know you're going to get the answer. So like, have you ever done a company like this before? No. Awesome. Would you like to hear how it works? You know what I mean? You can ask a question where you basically know what the answer is going to be. So I was sitting at T-Ball today, like responding to all these people on our fan page with just these custom messages, because you basically can tell what people are going to say. And that's been kind of cool because, I mean, then you at least have the numbers and you can work the numbers. But
Yep.
What my sister does is she will spend $5 or $15 on an ad, get a bunch of leads, turn it off, work them. When she runs dry, she'll do another ad, get a bunch of leads, and then work them.
Yeah.
Hi.
And she'll turn the ad. Oh, I'm sorry.
No. Hi. Hi, Barbara. Hi, Denise.
Hey, Tracy.
So I don't know if you guys know this, but I learned this recently with Facebook. Just say, because eventually you're going to max out friends because you can only have 5,000 friends and then everyone else becomes followers. You can turn your personal page and convert it into a business page. So like if you are, struggling getting your followers up, or you don't have the money to do the advertising for your business page, to build up those followers, you can, and just say you got 2,000 friends, you can make your personal page. It'll still always be personal, but then you can create a business page from that, and all 2,000 of your friends will automatically be followers. And so then, yep. And so, and the page is your own name, so you'll be set up like a public figure or an artist. And then those followers, because they're brand new, they don't have a choice to like it. You know how like right now we click invite the person to like our page, but they never like it. This makes them all like it automatically. And so when you're posting things, they see it. They don't know if it's your regular page or not, and they comment on it and everything. So I can share the link for that in the chat, but if you don't have like thousands of friends yet, like don't waste it, don't do it yet, because you can only do that once in a lifetime.
Wow, that's a great tip. I did not know that.
Thank you. Yeah, I also like to stay on live for at least 10 minutes, which means engaging with your audience, asking questions, getting to know people. I need to be better at that. I a lot of times want to use the video to upload on YouTube. So I'll download it and upload it later. So I like have in the back of my head that's going to go on YouTube later. But really engaging with them and asking questions is important. Erica's asking belly to belly. So what we've done to get more leads locally is to do local ads. And so what I'll do is I'll do a local ad, Caledonia or whatever, and I'll get leads that are local. And then I can invite them to a one team, one mission, or I can invite them to do a wrap party. So you can tailor your Facebook ad to local people. You can also do local hashtags and build your audience that way, so you know that like the people you are adding are local. I don't know if any other ideas.
I think too, like are you asking Erica, like, because you don't want to do Facebook? Because then, I mean, you just want to like apply the same theories, from what we share about like growing your network on social media to in person, so you have to be in places to meet, more people. Like who are the people, that you're going to want to wrap, and where do they hang out? Is it like, at like certain clubs or meetup groups, or like, I don't know, lessons of stuff. Like you have to find ways to meet new people, expos, lead boxes, blitzing, and then you just want to make sure you're getting your information. I mean, just think of like how, if you're talking to people at getting your nails done, there's just so many different ways that you can meet new people. I go to a different nail salon every couple weeks, or just walking in and out, strip malls, introducing a new product to the area, doing raffles and giveaways and stuff like that will usually get people to give you their information. So I don't know if that's what you meant. Yeah, meetups. I mean, meetup.com. Go to your Facebook events, and Facebook will suggest local events in your area. Go to like buy, sell sites for your specific community, and you will ask people questions like if somebody's selling something, send them a message. What size is that? How big is that? Is that black or brown? Whatever. And then add them as a friend, and we can build a local, more local people that way too.
All right. One last question that we got on the Game Changer page was about taxes. So how much do you put aside in taxes each month? And to be honest, at the beginning, in my experience, you don't need to put a ton aside because you're going to have so many write-offs. Every time you go to One Team, One Mission or a party, any auto ship, any product, you know, you've just got a lot of Florida trips or whatever it is, all of those are write-offs against your income. So if you make $2,000 in 1 year and you spend $1,000 on stuff, a new computer, you know, a quarter of your house, that might not room in your house to be your office, etc., then that goes against how much you earned. So then you only pay taxes on that. So you'll get with an accountant on how much you can claim 100% versus 50%. Like I can't claim 100% of my steak dinners with my team, but you can be writing off. Well, Lisa, the thing is that we write off the product that we purchased because we're becoming a product of the product and we are selling it. So like it's inventory as well. So I definitely would talk to her about that. And maybe it's not 100%, maybe it's 50%, but it's inventory.
Yeah, especially when you're doing a lot of giveaways at parties and stuff like that. You know, you have to just think about, and listen, I've been audited twice, all right? So you got to just think about what you're going to say to that auditor when it comes down to it, you know, and how are you going to explain 25 steak dinners, you know what I mean, versus like one with 20 of your team, you know? So just,
yeah.
You just think about, you know, you want to be honest about it too. Yeah. Because some people are like, oh, I'm going to write my manicures and stuff off. I don't think I'd want to tell my auditor that I need to get a manicure every week.
Yeah, I don't write off my hair or my eyelashes or anything.
Yeah. I need to have
my
live video.
They're all important.
Yeah. I think
go ahead, Barbara.
I would just say too, like, look at your tax bracket and whatever that percentage is, set that aside.
Yeah, now we pay taxes quarterly. So when your income gets higher, I think we started doing that when we were making 10, 20,000 a month. Like once it got up to about 10, we started paying a little bit more and quarterly. So we now do quarter. So what we do now is it goes into our business account, and then we have a company that pays us from business to personal, and they take out taxes every month whenever we transfer the money over. So there's monthly taxes being taken out, and then we do quarterly taxes as well. So then at the end, it's not so crazy.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But I've had people, it's really funny, I've had people tell me, I don't know that I can work the business because I don't want to pay more taxes.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, that is not abundance thinking. That is, you know, I don't know what kind of thinking it is, but
yeah,
paying more taxes, you're making more money. You know what I mean? So we like are grateful that we pay for our firemen. Like we probably pay several salaries a year.
That's a great topic for a live video. See?
Yeah.
I think that people like excuses that people come up with.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. All right. Well, I'm going to end with some personal development stuff. And the first one is called The Law of Process. So this is the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership by John Maxwell. If you have not gotten it, I recommend it. Oh, poverty mentality. Seriously. Yes, Tracy, that's it. I was thinking victim, and that wasn't it, but poverty mentality. Yeah. And you think about that poverty or victim mentality versus the abundant mentality. And that's one thing that I learned throughout this company was to always have eyes on what I wanted and always to speak life into it. Even if I didn't see the fruit of that immediately, speaking life over what I wanted and what I knew was possible changed the game forever. So when you hear yourself saying things like, I can't, it's too hard, like, it's not going to work, whatever those negative voices are telling you, we have a choice to make. Do we stay there or do we not? And you may have to make that choice several times throughout the day, but my recommendation is to speak life over what you want and to continue to do that. So if you have not yet gotten The Lion Chaser, is that what it's called? The new book that corporate is doing, they're doing a book club for all of us because they know the value of personal development. I'm going to try to get I'm going to get the links for the recordings so we all can have those. They're on Mondays at noon. And so get that book, follow along with them, listen. I mean, the goal is that we are continuing to develop. So the law of process is the irrefutable laws of leadership. And it says leadership develops daily, not in a day. And so that stood out to me because a lot of times people will be like, all right, tell me the one thing, tell me, I'm looking for something, the one thing that's going to flip my switch, that's going to make me get it, that's going to build my belief. And what I've learned, you guys, it's not one thing and it's not all at once. It's like, it's that process. It's you keep going for what you want and you try new things and you grow and you look back in a year and you go, wow, I'm in a different spot. Wow, I hardly ever have these victim or scarcity thoughts anymore. I'm way more positive, or I'm getting what I want. Or, you know what I mean? It's you look back and you see how far you've come. It's very rare that it's a flip of the switch and now you get it. It's through the process of developing that you become who you're created to be. So leadership is learned over time, but it can be learned. People skills, emotional strength. We talk about your EQ is more important than your IQ, to be honest. Your emotional, how you handle roller coaster of life is more important than your intelligence. Vision, momentum, and timing are all areas that can and should be learned. Leaders are always learners. And then I'm going to end with the law of magnetism. So again, we talk about this all the time, and I want you to know we didn't make it up. Like, we've read books for 10 years, lots of them. And so a lot of the things that you hear us say are because of all the personal development that we've done. So the law of magnetism is who you are is who you attract. Leaders attract people like themselves. Who you are is who you attract. If you only attract followers, your organization will be weak. Work to attract leaders rather than followers if you want to build a truly strong organization. I like that. And the last one is the law of respect. People naturally follow people stronger than themselves. So that's why we talk about the way you post things matter, the way you speak about things matter, the way that the decisiveness. People follow people who are stronger than themselves. So even if you're faking it till you make it, that's okay. Because again, even if you don't see the fruit of your labor, you continuing to focus on what you want and speaking life into your team and into your business, into your life is going to make changes. So that is all I have for you. The law of respect, the law of magnetism, and the law of process. So please let us know what other questions you have. Have an amazing, amazing night, and just know that you are loved. Bye, guys. Thanks, Barbara, for all your amazing tips.